Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm reviewing The Emerald Flame, a narrative riddle puzzle game from Postcurious. And disclaimer that I got a review copy of this one. So at this point I've covered most of the Postcurious games, but this is actually one of their earlier ones, but they did a reprint version of the game that's deluxeified and cleaned up and just superior. So I'm going to talk about some of my feelings. I will show some materials from the very first envelope you open, but I'm not going to spoil anything. I'll talk in vague terms. So first of all, like pretty much every Postcurious game, the materials in this are beautiful. You've got sheets and diagrams and codes and maps and like really cool manipulatives of plastic and other materials. I won't reveal any specifics, but every envelope gets better and better, and it's a very deluxeified, beautiful production overall. The narrative is fine. It's almost identical to, I think it's Threads of Fate, another one I covered, the Norse one that also got a redone edition. They both, keeping things vague, have you basically chasing after a mystical MacGuffin, kind of like a meaningless, vaguely powerful object, and making some choices and things. It's mostly communicated through like journal entries and some letters from people, compared to The Light in the Mist from Postcurious, which has an amazing narrative, or more recently, the Morrison Game Factory, which has a really, really fun core story to unravel. This one felt to me. Like, it was fine. I honestly almost didn't really need the narrative portion. I could just like do the puzzles and see where things go, but it at least tied it all together, so it's okay. The puzzles themselves are really cool. The hint system, if you haven't seen Postcurious before, they have an online portal where you can get progressively better and better hints. It continues to be amazing. You know, I did get stuck several times in each of the envelopes. I'm not a great riddle person, and the hints let me kind of walk my way through some things or figure out where I was messing things up without totally revealing everything to me. So great hint system like in all these games. But yeah, there was a lot of code breaking. There was a lot of like fun diagramming and things, lots of maps. You do not need any internet connection except for like the hint system and to finally submit your answers at the end of each envelope. So you don't have to like go to real websites or anything, which is pretty consistent for most of the games from Postcurious. I will say, though, one small complaint I had with some of the riddles is that a ton of them relied upon color, and kind of with like the old style paper treatment they did, I sometimes found myself like, here, you can kind of see here, is that pink and that orange different enough? I mean, they're labeled, but like to my eye, they aren't that different. Now, I was, to be fair, sometimes playing in a darker room, so I'm sure like the colors would appear more vibrant. But yeah, just like a little note, I'm sure anybody who's colorblind would really, really struggle with this game. And even with me not having that problem, I still had some puzzles where like the colors were a little bit tough for me to figure out. I also had a few puzzles that don't actually necessarily relate to the things I'm holding right now, but I had a few puzzles that dealt with manipulatives and like drawing on things. And I might have just been doing them totally wrong, but even like looking at the hints, I just couldn't figure out where I was going off with the puzzles. So I had a few frustrating moments. I think in grand total with the entire thing, which took me, it was over the course of like 4 days, I would estimate probably 6 to 8 hours to solve the entire thing. I think I had like 2 puzzles that really just didn't function for me. And again, I might have just been like totally doing something wrong. Now, the hint system still helped me keep going. It's not like it dead ended my game, but it was just a little bit weird just to kind of share my personal experience. Besides that, I thought the riddles were great. I thought they were very fun. They were like generally thematic. You know, some of them felt a bit like, hey, just a riddle for riddle's sake, but most of them did kind of match with the theme of the game and the story they were telling. And I'll say, especially in the second and third envelope, they did a really cool job of layering puzzles on top of each other, like the solution to this puzzle then lets you do something in this puzzle and lets you do something in that puzzle. I love that kind of stuff. It was like really exciting to unravel the final bits of the mystery in the game. So yeah, I think Emerald Flame is another great one. If you like Postcurious, you should probably pick it up because you already know you're down for the vibe of these games. But if in general you like escape rooms and riddle games, I think anything from Postcurious is among the best you're going to find in the business, and Emerald Flame is no different. A lot of fun. Great, great game. Definitely recommend it. Oh, and I will note that they have a recharge pack to refill everything that is like written on and usable one time. And then I think they also have links to PDFs, although there are some things in the game, again, without spoiling much, that are kind of used up after the second time you play through. So you could definitely play this once and then pass it on to somebody else or like sell it partially used and they can get another play out of it. Playing it beyond twice would be pretty problematic for just a few elements, but you could print out stuff for the rest of it. So that's the Emerald Flame. Thanks for watching, everybody. Good gaming, and I'll see you at the next step.